This is the Nokia G50, the brand's most affordable 5G handset yet, which is retailing around the globe for just under $300. So, will it be the right choice for you? Let's find out. In terms of Nokia's own lineup, the G50 sits somewhere alongside the X10 and a huge step above the G20. And let me start with the design and build. The phone doesn't exactly look very cutting edge from the front, with a chunky bottom bezel and a V-notch. Turn it around though and it's party in the back. The ocean blue color is stunning, and honestly it's quite mesmerizing to just look at once it reflects light. The other highlight of the design is that the display blends seamlessly into the frame. Pretty cool, and the design does remind me of the Nokia 7.2, just much bigger. Which is why handling the G50 on a daily basis is a whole other beast. This phone is huge. It has a gigantic 6.82-inch display and is probably the tallest device I've ever used. Now, thankfully, it's not as wide as the X10 or the X20, which makes the size a bit more manageable to handle. Your brain adjusts to the size pretty quickly, and it feels nice and sturdy in the hand. And it's made out of matte plastic everywhere, which is quite practical. The in-hand feel is definitely a highlight of this device, and the 220 grams of weight feel evenly distributed. The side-mounted fingerprint scanner is also pretty easy to reach, and it's not super quick, but pretty reliable. And the hardware does offer some nice legacy features, such as a 3.5mm headphone jack and an SD card slot if you want to expand the memory. I also want to highlight that up to 96% of the materials used in building the G50 can be retrieved as either materials or as energy. So good job on Nokia Mobile for focusing on sustainability, which really matters. What I don't like about the G50 is the haptic engine. I don't feel like it's refined enough to my liking. Now, Nokia highlights 4 key selling points of the G50, so let's talk about them. The first is the large display, and yeah, they're definitely not kidding, it's huge. But the huge display has a 720p resolution, which means that it's not exactly the sharpest around. And you will definitely notice this if you stare at your home screen icons up close. When scrolling through the interface or watching content, it's a lot less noticeable. If you want to know if this will bother you or not, switch this video up from 1080p to 720p if you're watching on your phone. And if you notice a difference, let me know in the comments below. Now, thankfully, the display does have nice punchy colors, good contrast, and even nice viewing angles, and it's perfectly usable outdoors. It also gets quite dim too if you're watching content in a pitch black room. Overall, I would say this display is easy on the eyes. And the single bottom firing speaker is pretty loud, which helps with the overall multimedia viewing experience on the device. The second key selling point is 5G. So the G50 doesn't skimp out on any of the global 5G bands, which means that for the foreseeable future, you'll still be able to get excellent network speeds and reception no matter where you go. And I personally have had no issues with the signal reception, and the call quality is nice and clear. The third key selling point of the G50 is the 48 megapixel main camera. The phone does have 2 other cameras on the back, a 2 megapixel depth sensor and a 5 megapixel ultra wide camera, but to save your time I'm going to focus on the 48 megapixel main camera as it's definitely the key highlight, as the others are pretty much very basic. And I'm happy to say that it actually managed to exceed my expectations, especially when taking the price point into consideration. It captures images that are bright and punchy with a strong HDR effect by default, meaning that the images will look satisfying to most people. And even the sharpness and the resolve details is also decent. If you're looking for a more authentic experience, then switching HDR definitely helps a bit. Image processing in general is a matter of preference, and this one is tuned to be more of a crowd pleaser rather than trying to get you the most realistic output. So you would know if this is your type of thing or not. Using night mode to capture low light images was a pleasant surprise, but it's not without its faults. The phone manages to capture a decent amount of light even in very difficult situations. And in the right hands, you'll be able to capture really nice low light images. The issue I have with it is with the focus, which is slow, especially in really dark situations, and might lead to blurry images if you're not attentive. As for video quality, the maximum resolution you can capture with is at 1080p. So if your work requires you to capture 4K footage, this phone won't do. But the 1080p video captured with this phone is pretty good and has nice software stabilization. Even the audio quality captured is decent. Excuse me, what are you doing up there? Yes, you. Another pleasant surprise was the selfie camera. Yeah, on paper 8 megapixels for the front-facing camera seems pretty weak, but the phone does a lot of processing to make sure that both you and your background are both nicely lit. The end result is selfie images that look pretty good most of the time. And the front-facing camera even has software stabilization for videos. The fourth and final key selling point of the G50 is the battery life. The phone comes with a generous 5000 mAh battery capacity, and based on my testing, it does last you up to 2 days of moderate usage, which is exactly as advertised. In terms of numbers, you're looking at up to 11 hours of screen on time using Wi-Fi and up to 7 hours of screen on time using cellular networks. In my testing, I had 2 SIM cards in the phone as well as having Bluetooth and location permanently on. One unique aspect of the G50 compared to the rest of the Nokia lineup is the super battery saver mode. And this one takes extreme measures to ensure that your G50 lasts for as long as possible. Either way, even without it, the G50's battery life is excellent. In terms of software, the G50 runs on Android 11 as a part of the Android One program. If you're an existing Nokia user, you would know exactly what this means. If you're not, this is a very stock Android experience that relies on Google for features as well as services. Now, the disadvantage of using this approach is that you will get noticeably less customization options and fine-tuning over the OS. The advantage of this is that it's pretty lightweight, which means that it should offer you a really smooth and quick user experience and remain quick for a longer period of time. And I'm happy to report that the performance on the G50 is definitely a highlight. It's easy to live with and won't frustrate you in terms of performance. The G50 runs on the Snapdragon 480 platform and my unit has 6 gigs of RAM. This might not be the most powerful chipset around, but the combination of a stock lightweight experience, using fast memory and only having to move around 720p pixels of resolution does result in a very pleasant user experience. And even when it comes to gaming, the phone is capable of playing games such as Call of Duty, PUBG, Asphalt 9 in high graphical settings without any issues. It also managed to remain nice and cool even after 30 minutes of gaming, which means that the heat management on this device is definitely doing its job. I don't remember the G50 ever getting warm in my hands, so that's good. Now, Nokia Mobile is promising 2 OS updates for the G50 and 3 years of security updates, which is a nice bonus if you plan on keeping your phone for a longer period of time. So let's conclude. By now you should know if the G50 is the type of device that would appeal to you or not. My own experience of using the device for the past 2 weeks as my daily driver has been satisfactory. It offered me a hassle-free experience, which I think the G series of devices from Nokia is trying to aim for, and why I would easily recommend this phone to a non-techie user. Not exactly the most exciting device out there, but does the basics really well. Now it's time to hear from you. What do you guys think of the Nokia G50? Let me know in the comments down below. Also, feel free to ask any questions about the G50 that I haven't answered in this video. Thank you all very much for watching. Please don't forget to like this video to support the channel and subscribe if you're enjoying my content, and I shall see you in the next one.